G'day folks, this is TradeTaxPlus checking in for TradeTaxPlus. This is our first technical video in this series, and this one deals with section 815 of the VAT Act, which more commonly is known as the composite supply section. Now what that section says, if a single supply is clearly more than one supply, and that supply would be partially subject to VAT at 15% and partially at 0%, then those are regarded as two separate supplies. Essentially, it is a anti-avoidance provision to make certain that the correct amount of VAT is charged where there is an element subject to VAT at the standard rate. Now this court case has come out, 1558. It's come out this week. Essentially what the case deals with is a situation where a local supplier provides promotion services to a non-resident. And the services that they're promoting is essentially goods, liquor in South Africa. So part of the process by which they market the product is to give free samples. So you go and you have a drink and I like this stuff, and then you buy the whole thing. What SARS then said is, hang on, but there's two supplies. The one is the supply of supplying the advertising, if you can call it that, and the other supply is the supply of the actual liquor. One is 14% locally consumed, and the one is 15% locally consumed, and the other one is, of course, the zero-rated service, which is supplied to a non-resident, zero-rated in terms of Section 11(2)(L) of the VAT Act. Now, what the court has done in this judgment, it just completely disregarded international precedents and said, but we've got a deeming provision that deals with that. But that's not what the international case law deals with. International case law deals with the issue of what is a composite supply. When is a supply really just one supply, and when can it be broken up into elements? And only once you're into that inquiry will you get into the inquiry of whether 815 applies. So with the greatest of respect to the judges, and many other people agree with me that with the greatest of respect, disagree with the judges, saying that what they've missed completely is there's only one supply, and the supply is a supply of a service to the non-resident, a zero-rated supply, and in that supply certain things happen. Part of that supply is a consumable, and the consumables that are incurred by the local person, and those consumables are then recovered from the non-resident. Now, we hope this case will go on appeal and go to court, and hopefully this will be overturned, because as it stands at the moment, just leaves a whole lot of options open to SARS to argue all sorts of things now being composite supplies. Hopefully that's not the way it's going to go, and hopefully we'll see this go on appeal and being overturned. But do yourself a favor, read this case, familiarize yourself with the thinking, and also think about, is it true that the foreign law doesn't apply in South Africa in this specific circumstance, or did the court look for a way to get to a predetermined outcome? I shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff, but it really begs that question. So when you've read this, give us your feedback. We'll appreciate that. There's been a lot of discussion on this on LinkedIn, different people taking different views. We'll appreciate your view as well on this. So this is me, TradeTaxPlus, checking out for TradeTaxPlus, Center of Excellence. Hopefully you'll enjoy the next video, which will deal with invoices under dispute. How do you deal with those?